So, you've been struggling to get an A rank in the free challenge quest against Arch-Tempered Rey Dau, eh? It's all gravy, baby. I was able to pull it off solo, and I'm not a speedrunner. I'm just a style hunter. So here's some best practices I use that may make it easier for you. The first things you'll need to do are part of your pre-hunt preparation phase. First, go ahead and max out your stun resistance. If you don't have these skills baked into your armor, you'll need 3 steadfast jewels. This will stop Arch-Tempered Rey Dau from stunning your ass on the ground. Thunder resistance is not bad either. It can help lower the damage of Rey's attacks, but it isn't as necessary as the other one in my opinion, especially if you have armor with lots of thunder resistance. Rey Dau's elemental weaknesses are water and ice, so weapons with those properties will hurt it more. It's also susceptible to pretty much every status effect. Paralysis and sleep are always good because getting it to stay still will make this fight a lot quicker. Make sure you have flash pods, lure pods, and pitfall traps on deck in your pouch. I'll explain why you'll need these. Also, life powder, dust of life, and max potions are great, mainly because they're faster ways to heal, which is important with the clock ticking, and the powder specifically is great when you're hunting with others. Also, before you head out on the hunt, head to the support desk feline, manage pop-up camps, windward plains, and make sure you have a camp in Area 16. Bone Desert is the optimal one, but having a camp in this area will allow you to get the hunt started as quickly as possible and save time. One more pre-hunt tip, hit up the quest menu and check the multiplayer settings. If you don't want support hunters filling in empty spots in your game, make sure you have it set to players only. I don't know why they automatically turn that on for the challenge quest, but I feel 13 minutes is much easier alone or with a coordinated team than with AI hunters. Now, before engaging Arch-Tempered Rey Dau, I typically buff myself with a Mega Demon Drug, some Demon Powder, and a Might Pill. These all raise your attack and stack on top of each other. Demon Powder is great because it applies attack buffs to other hunters in your vicinity. Rey Dau is annoying and elusive in its Arch-Tempered form, and most of making your speed run stress-free is finding ways to get it to stay put. One way to do this is to make sure you're focusing its weak point because it'll give you a free knockdown if you focus strike it. This weak point becomes available after Rey Dau's most devastating attack, the Charge Railgun. That's the super strong attack where the light shifts, and it does this attack standing or flying. After it's done, Rey will stand still for a moment. You'll see its horns fully extended, and its face will glow in focus mode. If you take advantage of this with a focus strike, you'll temporarily knock it down, allowing for a free damage opportunity. Just keep in mind there is a cooldown once you land this focus strike, so the weak point may not show after a couple of charged railguns, but stay in front of its face and keep using focus mode to check when it is exposed. Given that Arch-Tempered Rey Dau prefers to stay in the air out of range of melee weapons, flash pods are a great way to ground it. However, you typically can only get off 3 effective flash pods to bring it to the floor, and then after that, they'll simply slow it down. So think about whether you want to use them early in the hunt or toward the end. I personally use a couple of them early and save one for later on when I'm trying to keep Rey Dau from escaping. Speaking of which, when you got Rey Dau leaking and a little skull pops up on your minimap, equip your lure pods right away because this is when it'll try to fly back to the starting zone. A good way to tell if Rey Dau's getting ready to fly away is by keeping an eye on the glowing color around the minimap. If it's glowing red, you have the monster aggro and engage with you, but if it turns white, they're getting ready to bail. Use this as a cue for when you should use your lure pods. And like flash pods, lure pods lose effectiveness after you use 3 of them, so try to finish the hunt before Rey Dau becomes immune to them. This is when you want to utilize pitfall traps and slow it down, dealing as much damage as possible to finish the hunt. Another key thing to remember, make sure you coordinate focus striking tempered wounds to whenever Rey Dau is standing and in attack mode, because this also gives you an automatic knockdown. Make sure you don't waste a tempered wound on when Rey Dau's already knocked down, in a trap, or paralyzed. Now, this is a slay quest, meaning you can't capture it to end the hunt, so really focus on using all these items to incapacitate it and get your biggest damage moves off. And that's it, some best practices for taking out Arch-Tempered Rey Dau as quickly as possible. Hopefully this is useful for folks, and if you're still not able to get that A rank, me and the rest of my guild will be on throughout the week to help folks out, so make sure you hit that follow so you can catch us when the lobby goes up.